How to rebuild your social life after quitting alcohol. So, I know for me personally, this was a thing that was a bit of a struggle, at least in the beginning stages. And I know a lot of other people that are in this sort of muddy stage where, it might feel a bit shallow what's going on because you just quit this thing that's destroying a lot of things. But at the same time, you miss the old days of socializing, the friends you might have had when you were actually partaking in drinking. And you might fear going to the bar or you might fear going to the pub because of the inevitable relapse, so to speak, right? Or perhaps not inventable, but there might be a chance for it. So you avoid it altogether, right? Now, I've been sober for pushing 4 months now, 3 months and 2 weeks. So 3.5 months I've been sober, not a drop of alcohol, right? And from my journey, what I learned is the first month was a bit empty. I can't lie to you guys. But it wasn't as empty as waking up hungover, full of regrets, or looking at the bank account where a lot of money is lost due to wasting it on temporary pleasures such as spending it on the bars, right? It wasn't as empty as doing things I normally wouldn't do under the influence, right? The first month was a bit shallow, for sure. A bit of a sense of emptiness. It was this void that had to be filled. And I know a lot of people going through the same thing. And what I really want to say here is if you have withdrawn yourself from the social circle that you were drinking with, or they have withdrawn for you, they're not hanging out with you anymore because you're not drinking. The best thing to manage that is first of all just to accept it, to be fair with you. I came to the realization of I have to make a change and this is more important than hanging out with these people right now at the moment. And when we're in the alcohol, when we're in that pleasure loop, because it really is a pleasure loop, it feels good going to the bar, it feels good drinking, right? It feels good hanging out with people that are drinking. Momentarily, a lot of times it actually feels good, right? You have to step back and say, now is not the season for feeling good. Now is the season for leveling up. Now is the season for getting my habits in order. Now is the season for, rewiring my brain, so to speak, to get my dopamine back, right? Like now is my season for building something long lasting for myself. If you have a family, for your family as well, and stepping into a greater version of yourself, and that means sacrificing. It means giving up things. You have to be okay with giving up things, whether that be people, friends, activities, habits, right? There are other things to do than going to the bar. It may not seem like it in the moment. I know for me it didn't. I missed it a lot, especially the first week or two. That was my go-to thing. I was at a bar maybe every day at one point. It was like the vibe there. Looking back at it, it wasn't even that good, but I guess like the socializing aspect, the free flowing of conversations, the storytelling, the music in the background, talking with the bartenders as well, people being happy, like that sort of energy. You can find that in different places, and like when it comes to rebuilding your social life, I would say like the first month, don't even try to go to a bar. If you do it, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, right? After about 2 months, I went to a beach bar with one of my friends who I actually met at the gym. We became friends after I got sober. Actually, I didn't know him from before. Got friends at the gym, went to a beach bar, and I had a Coke Zero and he had a beer, right? I didn't feel, the thing is, I didn't even feel tempted to drink. I didn't miss it. When I was in that environment, we were at the beach, it was nice, like people were having fun, the bartender was talking, me and my friend were talking. No one was looking at me like, oh, he isn't drinking. Like, it's acceptable not to drink, so you can still, if you have the discipline, right? You can still go to a bar with your friends and just not drink. If you have the discipline for that. I didn't the first month. That's why I stayed away from it. And for some people, it might be you can never go to a bar, you know. But if you truly enjoy that environment, which I do, now I don't go there often. I do it maybe once a month. Go to a bar and I have a coffee, or I have a Coke Zero, or an alcohol-free beer. I can handle that. I can have an alcohol-free beer and not drink actual beer. For some people they can. And I was heavily drinking before, guys. I was drinking every day. We're talking whiskey, gin, beers, wine. I was drinking a lot, like a lot, a lot, a lot. So that's one way of doing it. If you actually can manage it and just switch your perspective to like, I'm not really even enjoying the alcohol that much. I'm enjoying the experience, the environment. You can still have those friends, right? But another way to rebuild your social circle and your social life after quitting alcohol is, first of all, not needing it, not chasing it, like not having to chase approval from other people, being okay with being a bit in solitude, right? Like focusing on your own thing, focusing on your own life, focusing on building your skills, focusing on feeling healthy again, focusing on feeling good. It's so much easier to make friends when you feel healthy as well. That's one thing I noticed. And for me personally, guys, I found a lot of new friends at the gym. All right, people coming up to me, I'm talking with them, just connecting with people there, right? And actually starting to hang out with them. It's like a socializing circle. Like we go to the gym at the same time. I prefer to work out alone usually, but there is still like this small talk there, pushing each other to get better, that environment. Not the same as the bar, but it's actually doing something productive, meeting people, shaking hands with them, talking about life, about business, about what they're training today, how to get stronger, how to get leaner. Like, that's a good community to have. I prefer that now, right? And some of these friends I meet outside of the gym now as well. And we can go to the park, for instance, have a few alcohol-free beer, or just have a coffee and have just talk, have that same, because I enjoy deep conversations. It's sort of just who I am. I like these philosophical talks, and I study psychology, Carl Jung, and philosophy, Marcus Aurelius, and things like that. And so I like these sort of intellectual talks, right? And in the past, I found them at the bar, right? With my friends, drinking like some whiskey or something. We could go into topics, into conversations. So it's like mentally stimulating, right? I can still do that, just in a different environment or in the same environment without drinking, right? So that's one way of doing it. And we have to know as well, like I think it's on a biological level even. We as men, like, we bond over activities. So if someone is if you're in a group of people that are playing soccer and you quit playing soccer, you might not be a part of that group anymore, right? It's the same with drinker. If you're buddies with a group of drinkers that enjoy that, you might not be friends with them anymore. But you might be if it's not only about drinking, if it's also about having meaningful conversations, right? I found out that with my friends, I'm not saying they're bad people or anything. I genuinely enjoyed hanging out with them, but we're not friends anymore because I don't partake in the activity of drinking, right? And it wasn't really much more to it than the actual drinking. Now instead partaking in activities of training, of getting better, right? So you can find these a new social life by partaking. You have to put yourself out there, right? It's not going to happen automatically. Put yourself out there. Like, go to a running group, people that run cardio, right? That's a good group where you can find people that are on the path of bettering themselves. You can go to a tennis club, golf club, right? At golf clubs, people drink, but you don't have to. You can still enjoy the activity of golfing with them without having to drink, right? So I really think that's the way to go about it. It worked for me, and it worked for a lot of other people as well. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm a bit of a special case because I can actually go to a bar and not even feel tempted to drink because my priorities are just different nowadays, right? And that's coming from a guy that actually had problems with alcohol. Yes, it was causing me real issues. At one point, I could down like 1 liter of whiskey and a bottle of wine in a day and still kind of function. Now that's a pretty hardcore tolerance, all right? That's a pretty hardcore tolerance. I'm not even saying that proudly. I'm saying that like I was drinking daily heavily, right? To the point where it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I was self-destructing, right? I'm not saying I did that every day, but it was during a small period of my life where things were going really bad, and it was like a soothing thing just not to feel anything, to feel numb, right? Which alcohol does, but then the withdrawals come and you want even more, you want more. It becomes this evil circle, right? But I managed to just change my priorities completely, get sober, almost 4 months now, and I don't think it's healthy to say that I was an alcoholic, even though some people would consider it that. I don't think it's a healthy way of looking at yourself because alcohol is a poison and it's nothing natural. I don't think it's a sickness. I just have a different mindset about it. There's a book called The Easy Way to Control Alcohol. I really recommend that book. That helped a lot. And so the purpose of this video, like what I'm going to end it with, is don't be afraid of the social circle. It's okay to be lonely for a month or 2 or 3. Like it's okay to, or even a few weeks. It's okay to find new people. It's okay to focus on yourself, on getting healthy, right? Life is long, guys. Life is long. So being in solitude for a month or a few weeks, it's not going to be that big of a deal in the long run, and it's going to benefit you greatly as well. And also find different communities where you can actually bond with, where you can create relationships, productive relations, like golfing or tennis or soccer or some kind of sport. The gym is good as well. Business conferences, another idea, right? Where you can actually find like-minded people that are on the path that you want to go toward, right? Or that you are embarking on. I hope that makes sense, guys. If you did enjoy it, hit the like, also subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment as well. I'll take recommendations if you have recommendations for what you want me to make a video on, right? And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.